I fish lots of lakes, I fish them all year round. Oh, I fish lots of lakes, everywhere I'm bound. Can't say which lake's the best until I try. All the rest going fishing.
Next up on Northwestern Outdoors Radio, we've got a product review for you. We found something really unique at the Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show in Portland. It's made by Nerka, and they make a couple of things that if you own a boat, you're going to be interested in. Number one, they make rod holders, and they make extensions for rod holders. Number two, they also make holders for your electronics. Now you're thinking, what's the big deal? We're about to tell you. With us here to tell you more about it is Bryan Draper, who is the founder, the CEO, the head dishwasher, and everything else for Nerka. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit first about your rod holders and the extensions for your rod holders. They're very unique in that they're not plastic.
Correct. They're all machined aluminum, and we machine them in Brewster, Washington. All the accent pieces are stainless steel parts, and it actually connects to your pole as opposed to your pole coming out of it.
Well, there's two unique things there. Number one is the machined aluminum, very strong, but also really lightweight. Fits very well the way you have these set up on the rails. And like you said, the really unique thing about your rod holder is that, most rod holders, they're designed with the idea of it, they're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to pull out of the rod holder. But when there's a fish on, that isn't always easy. You do something different. Why don't you actually describe it as you do it for us?
Sure. So you're going to we have what we call a grip, and that goes onto the butt of your rod, and you can place it pretty much anywhere you'd like on the butt of the rod. I like to keep mine about a hand distance from the reel back just to stay out of the way. And the theory is that it's all based on pressure. So under pressure, that rod is locked in and you're not going to lose it. People fear that it might come out that way, but the pressure keeps it locked down. And once you twist it back to what we call neutral, which is basically straight up and down, you just slide it right on out. It makes it easy for people with ailments or kids or anyone for that matter to do that. So,
and something else too, when it comes to getting that rod out of the rod holder, everyone who's listening has lost fish in that process because you lose the pressure. With this, you don't lose the pressure as you pull literally the rod holder and the rod out together.
Yeah, correct. And sometimes what we'll do too is we'll actually fight that fish for a few seconds, maybe 20, 30 seconds, because your reel is exposed. So you can access that reel and fight it right at the holder. And then you can really set that hook, and then you can access the rod by taking it out, which is a nice feature as well. We'll use that downrigger fishing, dropper fishing. We'll let that fish get nice and hooked before we actually start messing around trying to get the rod out and fighting it by hand.
Well, I love it. It's really unique. I haven't seen anything else like it on the market, and it's really brand new. How long have you been in business?
The idea has been around for about 5 years, 6 years, but we've only been selling for about a year. We launched at the Portland Sportsman Show in 2019, so...
And we are talking again about rod holders and extensions from Nerka. The website you can find out more about them on is nerka.com. Nerka spelled Nerka, nerka.com. That's the place to buy the rods and the rod holders. I'm pretty sure you're going to be finding them at stores near you pretty soon because, again, this is really innovative. I think it's going to take off, which is why we're telling you about it on the show right now. In addition to this, you've come up with something else new. Now, you were here at the show, and Johnny Candle, which, folks, if you don't know, we've had him on the air before, one of the best-known walleye anglers, champion walleye anglers in the entire nation. He comes by your booth, he takes a look at what you have, and he starts collaborating with you to invent.
So we make what we call a locator mount for your electronics. You can find those in Shields across the nation. We just launched with them in January. And so they're pretty unique. What's special to us is the mounting bracket. We call it a skeleton mount. Usually you have to buy your electronics first.
Right.
And then that will tell you what hole pattern you need for your plate so you can buy your mount later. With ours, it'll accept any mount on the market. We have a slide bracket underneath, which is very unique that allows you to mount to any hole pattern, any bracket. And you can also get adjustment left and right before you clamp it down. So that's our unique.
Well, the other thing that's really nice about this is with the configurations you have here at the show, again, you can go ahead and mount them side by side. That's really important for a lot of anglers. You can also have one stacked on top of the other. Why would you stack them versus having them side by side?
So a lot of guys in the bass and walleye world like to run them at the foot pedal, stacked top and bottom. And Brian Bell is also one of our guys that we work with, and he actually stacks a set of monitors at his steering wheel, and he stacks a set of monitors at his foot pedal. So we hold 4 monitors with 2 mounts.
Amazing. And again, because these mounts are essentially universal, the nice thing is you're not stuck with the electronics that came with the boat if you bought, a certain type of electronic with the boat. If you want to upgrade or if you want to change to a different brand, you can do so here, and it's not a hassle. And that's not the same way it goes if you're trying to change out from what you originally bought.
Definitely. And so one other cool thing, too, is that our double monitors are side-by-side. We call it the walleye mount for those guys that we're giving them a little love. And then our coho mount, which is our stackable monitors, will carry up to 2 monitors up to 15 inches. So you can really put a lot of weight on there, and it'll handle anything that you need.
All right. So as for these mounts for your electronics, these are now hitting a major store chain that our listeners from Montana all the way through the Midwest are going to be excited about. That store chain is?
We are now in Shields.
So that's fantastic. 30 stores along that whole swath of walleye fishing land. And, of course, you've got the Great Lakes out there as well where Shields stores are. And so if you're after some of those salmon that are out there, or lake trout, these electronics are going to be great too.
Yeah, they'll be available. And then we have some events coming up with Shields that we won't be able to hit every single one because they're pretty spread out. But we will be at some of the local events too, helping launch this product with Shields. And Johnny Candle will be there. He'll be representing us at some of those locations as well. So, look for us. We'll be there.
All right. So the bottom line is if you are looking for something unique that's going to work really well in your boat, check out the rod holders and extensions or the mounts that they have for marine electronics. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
Yeah, so I was just going to say that the cool thing about it, too, is that if you want to combine the rod holders with the electronics, we also offer that, too. So you could actually put your fish finder underneath your rod holder if you only have one location that you want to use it. It's all interchangeable. We just helped out a gentleman here at the show that we did on a jet ski, and he didn't have...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had limited room, and he built a 1-inch bar off of his jet ski, and so we hold a rod holder for him and his sonar underneath so he can make it all interchangeable.
And you could do the same thing with the canoe, couldn't you?
Yep, exactly. Canoe, kayak, any of it. We can outfit it all.
All right. If you are looking for some really lightweight but tough and innovative rod holders or a mount for your marine electronics that is really interchangeable for marine electronics you'll use throughout your life, check out Nerka.com. That's the website, Nerka.com. Check out their products there. And if you are in the Midwest or Montana, head to your local Shield store. You can find those marine electronics mounts there as well. Brian, thanks so much for sharing this today on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thank you for having me.
Rice Lake, Sugar Lake, Mud Lake, Long Lake, Ant Lake, Swan Lake, Lake of the Woods. Oh, I fish everywhere.